that are available. You can see the different specialists we have, and the way it is organized in the website is it does not look nice at all. And you can see the all practitioners is missing from the side menu. Then there are some pages that are not included, like this one. If you're trying to make appointment as an individual or if you're trying to make the appointment as an organization, this page is totally missing. Then this page that asks is for to provide health information. What's your current location? This is supposed to be a map data type, but it's a text data type. So you can just put in anything as opposed to what the initial design had in mind. And there's also option to change, but there's no option to change here. Then the placeholder for add attachments in the telemedicine is missing in the website. Or in the design, you can see it's add attachments. So this is where people can add their x-rays and what have you. It's missing in the website. Then primary complaints layout. So this is kind of like repeats. What's your primary complaint? So all these symptoms, you're supposed to be able to click it to pick your primary complaint. But this already has fever, headache, and nausea. So it's stated already, and that's different from the actual design. Then are you allergic to any of the drugs listed? But there is no list of the medication. So this is consistent with the design. So I'm thinking it's actually a design flaw. So it says see the list of medication in the design, but there's no list of medication. So I'm referring to this. Are you allergic to any of the drugs listed? There's no drugs listed. There's no option to pick the drugs listed. Then when you want to pay, the continue to payment doesn't take you to payment window. So I can't verify the rest of the window. So this is where it ends on the telemedicine with the user own. So on the website, we have pending. I think that's a new feature that was added. It's not in the design. Then to filter appointments, the data is requesting for is different from what is in the design. You can see that. Then there's no notification option available. In the design, you can see there's a place where you can see all your notifications. So that's not available on the website. For another observation, if you're on the telemedicine page and you click on my profile, it does not retain the sidebar of the telemedicine page. So it makes that hard to navigate. Unlike here in the design, when you click on my profile, it takes you to my profile, but the sidebar still retains the options from the telemedicine site. And you can easily go back. There's back navigation, but it's not the same in the site. So it makes navigating hard. Then in the pharmacy services, from the home page, you should be able to see this drop-down menu when you hover on the pharmacy option, but that's not available on the website. Then when you click on the landing page, okay, I've talked about the landing page already. So this is the home page of the pharmacy site. And the horizontal view of the new product supposed to be under the new products, and the horizontal view of the best selling should be under the best selling. That's one observation here. Then products gotten from all products has no categories view, no snapshot of star review, no location, no search bar, no what's great about it, not in the design. So in the design, when you click on the actual products, You can see a little of the review. You can see location as well. And also a small information about what's good about this product is also not there. So in the category menu, when you click on the category menu, it doesn't, when you click on any of this, it does not take you to the actual product. But when you click on the categories, it takes you to the actual product, page. So this is what happens when you click on the categories. But this is how it's supposed to look like from the design. You're supposed to see this filter by the product, and you're supposed to be able to search under the categories and then choose the product you want. Then in the carts, you can't increase the quantity of the item you want. And you can't also add multiple items to the cart. If you try to add a new item, the previous one will leave the cart. And if you refresh the page, the item on the cart will also leave the cart. And then in the proceed to checkout page, you can also see your saved items, the list of your saved items, and a list of things that you may also like that can prompt the user to buy more, which is missing from the website. And here in the checkouts, you can't add new address here. You can't change this address here as opposed to how it is in the design. You can change and you can add more addresses, but you can't do that here. And this click here to enter your codes. It's not clickable. And also you can't see payment options to choose. For now, it seems like it's only Paystack that works on this site. So that's the only payment option available. Also, where prescription is required, that option has not been captured in any of the products. I think there should be an option under the description that says if the product requires prescription or not. So there will be an option to upload the prescription as requested. Then the payment portal looks different. From the design, you should still be able to see that you are within the Moricol website. Then for the massage, frequently asked questions is not included among the menu. Then the pricing, when you click the type of massage you want, the pricing is not included as it is in the design here. Then when you go to the massage specialist, you can see the reviews of each of them as it is in the design. Also in this design, when you click on the individual specialists, their years of experience and what's this? The number of things they've had is relative to the top, which gives the user confidence to pick the masses. But here it's hidden below, so it's not consistent with the design. Okay, this is actually design, and this is how it looks like in the website. It's supposed to be this. So in the website here, it says that you don't need to pay to book an appointment, but I can't book an appointment without paying. So that's a little contradiction there. Then for the home care service, there's supposed to be two types of services offered. The healthcare specialized service and the caregiver service. So when you click on the home page here, you're not, if you select home care as the service you want, you're not able to select the kind of service that is required as opposed to how it looks like in the design. In the design, when you select home care, you can pick the kind of care you want as as is listed in these options here, but these options are not available on the site. So all the pages attached to the home care is not accessible. But if you select healthcare, you can see these services: one caregiver, two caregivers, one caregiver and a nurse, etc. It's not consistent with the design here that specializes just nursing care, medical care, and physical and occupational therapists. And then this one also includes caregivers as well. And I believe this healthcare one is supposed to only focus on specialized care, which is the nursing, doctors, and physical therapists. But it also includes caregivers. So this page is missing from the website. What do you need specialized care for? So the options of cancer management, IV therapy, end of life, etc. This page is missing from the website. Then some observation that are you self-caring? There's a question that asks, are you self-caring? We think that it should come with some explanation. And also this part that talks about risk assessment, is the client aggressive? Because in this part now, we clicked that we are the ones, we clicked myself, that is, I'm trying to choose this service for myself. So asking if the client is aggressive, I think this question should be rephrased if myself is picked. And also this risk assessment, I think it should be left for to Moricol to decide if the person is low risk or medium risk. So there should be like a sort of questions that the person can answer, and then at the back end, you can now grade the person if they are low or medium or high. Then also the phone number. The data type is supposed to be number, but it's accepting text here, active. Then also it has here date of birth and it has age brackets. And the age bracket stops at 36 to 45. So someone who is above 45 can pick an age bracket. So we're thinking, since there's date of birth, there may not be need for this age bracket since you can already get the age of the person from the date of birth. Then the next page after this asks for information of the caregiver. So there's supposed to be a section above here, above preferred language. From the design, we're supposed to be able to choose the gender, religion, and age bracket of the carer and ethnicity, but it's not included in the design, in the website, in the actual website. Then when you select preferred timeline, pick your timeline, there's an issue with the options, it's repeated. Also, from the beginning, if I click a nurse, from the beginning, if I click that it's a nurse service that I need, I think I should only be seeing the option of nurses. Also, if I pick 12 hours or 6 hours here, and I'm trying to set the timeline of how much time I want the caregiver to spend in my home, it still allows me to pick more than 6 hours, even though the option I selected here was 6 hours. Also, there's a page, it's not attached here, but there's a page that is also confusing. If you pick the option of two caregivers, one nurse for the 24 hours, it asks you for starting date for day one, starting date for day two, starting date for day three till 7. Meanwhile, it's the monthly services that we are selecting. So that part is a little confusing. There's no way to add it. Maybe the rest. It's not about. Then for the training, there's no filter and there's no search and there's no categories. And you have to share the course on social media, like it's provided showing the design. Then there's no provision of coupon use, even though it's in the design. And then for now, we can't test out how the courses look like when you pay. We haven't tried that one out yet. And also, you can't message the instructor and you can't add courses to the wish list. Then for the recruitment, this was the error message when I tried to submit my resume. And then you can't add certifications. You can't edit your resume to add certifications. And the placeholder information there is automatically added to me. That is introduction to nursing. And also, it includes job preference. That is the job preference and how can we contact you is not included at all. Meanwhile, it's included in the design. And also, there are no filters to jobs to search for jobs. Then for the employer part, if I try to submit my job listing, it gives me an error message. It says error creating jobs. Then for the loan, the for now it's only designed for mobile, and there's no search. You can't search for loan options, and the filter by categories is different from what is in the Figma design. Then generally observation from the home page. There's no dynamic display of products, and the let me leave this part out because that's actually what it is for. The category displayed in the landing page is different from, okay. So it's also not iterative. You cannot click on any of the services from that display and it will take you to the actual services. And there's no prompt to sign in and there's no search icon. And also the option of choosing your language change is not yet included. I think that's a rundown of everything.
All right, Jennifer, thank you so much. So these are the findings that we have so far from the entire project. So I don't know if you guys have some maybe additions or inputs or something that you want to say. So for us, some of these things we can actually resolve most of these things and get it to work, but it will be much easier for the developers to actually fix all of these things. It will to save time and maybe resources on your own part. as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. So that's actually the purpose of this meeting. So we understand what it will take to resolve the issue as compared to creating a subdomain. So let's have our options and then we can have something to deliberate on.
Okay, when you say subdomain, so there are two options. The problem that this developer is having actually is as expected from my own perspective or from my own point of view. Sorry, can you hear me? Sorry, call came in.
I
Can you
lost
hear me?
you a bit, but
Okay,
back
okay.
now.
That the problems that you're having now, they are expected because of the kind of project that you're trying to develop is actually a project with different modules. A project like this, if I was handling a project like this, definitely I would need a team. So it looks like this particular developer is maybe they are just it's just one of them or maybe two of them that's actually working on this project. So um, the mistakes that we uncovered, looking through this project is something that even if I can almost guarantee that even if we push this entire stuff back to this developer, we're still going to have some back and forth because this project, from my end, the project, there are some things that the guy did that at this stage might not be a big problem, even if they have it fixed now. There's too much static content on the website. So there are some stores that you're supposed to push to the administrator to be able to, for example, at the point of creating uh, categories. I'm not exactly sure it's just categories now. There's categories and there are other stores that are supposed to be dynamic content. The reason why it's supposed to be dynamic is because there may be need in the future to make adjustment to maybe the word is no longer what is known to everybody. Maybe some terminologies, for example, is no longer that's not the right word. So the administrator is supposed to have that authority to go on the back end and make certain adjustments. So what this guy did mostly was using mostly static content. So the place where you have, for example, like Jennifer rightly mentioned, if I already supplied my date of birth, there is no need for you to now ask me my age group because the system is supposed to be dynamic, So part of what we discovered, aside from the summary of what we discovered, is there's no much dynamic content. Some of these things are supposed to come from the database, not static, on the front end. And the design is not consistent. Most of those designs are not consistent. In my own view, if I have to be sincere, they are not professional enough. If you take that stuff into the market, um, definitely you're going to get some feedback. That's number two. And number three, the navigation of the entire project is actually misleading. You can actually get lost in the entire. As a matter of fact, I got lost when I was reviewing it with Jennifer. The navigation is not as easy as maybe to get a secondary view. Maybe you guys should send it to maybe friends and family to do their own, just um, an open test, just for them to navigate and get the feedback. I can guarantee that they are going to tell you that they were not able to find their way around the entire system. So the navigation is not as fluent as it should be. Too much static content, which is not a good thing. There are things that the guy can easily fix now, but in the future you'll need to call him back and say, we need to make this adjustment. We need to add this category. You need there will be need for him to now program the stuff in afresh. And the last one, there are lots of missing components. So as against the Figma designs that we have, there are components that are not on the actual work that this person has done. So those are the issues. And lastly, I was not able to log into the GitHub account to determine the framework that was used to develop this particular project. If it's Laravel, because there are lots of frameworks that, though we have, from our own team, we have full stack developers who can actually navigate, but it's important for us to get on GitHub and see the actual code structure that was used to develop this project. That's not even the last thing. So there's something else that we should, for this kind of project. So because of the kind of project that you're trying to put out there, and I see that you've integrated Paystack, that's a payment gateway already. So something else that we're going to do a code review. That's if we have to start from where this guy stopped. We're going to do a code review to like scanning the entire code base that this person has developed, just to make sure that there are no because most developers, they have a way of jump-starting the entire development process by just pulling source code from the internet. And if we don't do a code review for this project, you can be prone to some security issues, like you start having issues where maybe somebody's trying to break into the system, somebody's claiming to be a caregiver, and meanwhile the person is not on the system. So all of those things has to be in place. So what I'm trying to say is that aside from the design inconsistency that we have, and the lack of dynamic content, and the missing components, there's also need for us to include security into this because of the magnitude of this project. So there's need to include security. And lastly, I would recommend that we should break this project into modules. It will help to easily manage the project and scale in the future in case you need to add other features to it. But as it is now, the project is not scalable. It's not scalable. It's not broken into modules. And amongst those other issues that I raised. So that's my own submission for now. Sorry, were you able to hear me? I don't know if I was just talking. Hello?
Yes, I could hear you. I
Okay.
hope on the other time they could.
Yeah, I could hear you too, but we still haven't talked about what solutions. You've mentioned the things that could be done, but not specifically, is it um, repairing or what do I call it now?
Or building
So we
afresh.
are focusing on more like repairing this, what is currently on ground. We are not building anything new. So what will it entail for us? What will it entail for us, and what timelines are we looking at?
Okay, that's a good question. So we can actually repair what you have already, irrespective of the code base. So repairing system is going to be based on a particular understanding between your side and our end. So now the thing is, we just gave you certain issues that we discovered within this code base. So if you agree that these are the only problems, because from our end, comparing it with your UI designs and your project and requirements, if you say that all these problems that we listed for you today, these are the only problems from your own perspective or from your own view that we have, then I'll be able to tell you, okay, from this document that we have, this is the timeline, and this is what it will cost, and anything else that we might need. But if there's anything else, for example, I'll point you to something, the loan part. On the Figma file, it actually looks like a mobile app. But what we saw on the actual design is a website. And aside from just the website or mobile app difference that we have, there are other issues. The loan process does not, I don't think is something that's going to work. I'll tell you why. We saw a place where people are requested to put their credit card information. So somebody can type the ATM card information, put on the loan. The way, because I've worked with some fintech organizations before where the loan system, there are some service providers as well that you can plug into to do stuffs like recalling or recalling back the loan. So what happens if somebody gets loan from your organization and disappears? I understand that from what we saw, you have some documentation and all of that process, but the smart, I don't think it was smart, the most effective way to do it is to actually automate that process so that I'll give you a clear example. I don't want to waste too much time. So there was a time that we launched a product and somebody came on the system and actually disappeared with our money. So we had to program our system with Paystack in a way that every day money enters this person's account. Immediately, we were able to pull that money out from the person's account directly. So the day it took some time anyways, the customer was not actually aware. By actually using the loan app, you've given us the authorization, you have given us that consent to do that auto withdrawal. So the loan system, if you say, okay, let's repair exactly what you have as against um, all these features that we have, just to fix it, we can actually fix it and um, deliver it back to you. But some features will actually, for example, a second example is your online training portal. So now we only saw a place to buy the online course. So there's supposed to be a backend where if I pay for the course, I should have access to that course material. And the second question is, am I going to download that material or I'm going to stream that material live on the web? If I'm streaming live, that backend has to be provided. So that's what I'm saying. It's a bit difficult for me to just say, okay, we can take over this project and it will be done in 6 weeks. But to actually get this project to run effectively, there will be need for us to have some back and forth meetings just to brainstorm more on the some things has been done already, but there's a need for us to further brainstorm on certain features which currently they're not is not going to work. Some of the features, the idea is good, but the way it has been implemented is not going to work. So that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be user friendly for the customer. Yes. So those are so to answer your question directly, it's going to be a difficult one at this stage. So two options: if you want to just fix
Okay.
what, or brainstorm and have a series of meetings to actually discuss some of the features that for now they're not. So that's the
Okay, so as the expert, what would you advise is a better way forward?
yeah. Okay, better.
Because
And
we want to have options to be able to work with. We have made a few consultations. We
mm,
have heard about if you go the route of fixing, other things might come up. And from what you have said, you have mentioned it technically, but not directly, that other things might come up in the course of fixing, which will cause back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That has been going on since the beginning of this project. Now, what other options are there? Let us hear from you, the expert.
okay, so the other options that we have is very we can take a particular module. We can take, say, recruitment, for example, and trash recruitment 100% and put it off, put it behind us, move to the next one. So we can actually work like that. It's going to be, if you say, let's carry the entire stuff, there will be this consistent back and forth. I've been developing softwares for many years now. It's something I'm used to because design process, there are certain things that works for you as the owner of the project, but user friendly when you put it on the table for us to. That's what this developer actually did. The guy is just doing garbage in, garbage out. He's giving you back most of the things that. So the guy is not being creative. He's not thinking about the end user. He's thinking about pasting exactly what you sent. So what I'm saying is an easy way to crack this is to pick one module, for example, recruitment. And if you say we should, we can fix these issues that we have with recruitment. And then we now discuss the friendliness of some of those features. Because the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if I say, okay, let's go headlong, by the time you start using this service, you're going to come back to us. You say, this thing is not working, this thing is supposed to be like this. They will start having that.
Yeah, sorry to cut you short. Yeah, you've mentioned fixing. I understand that whether fixing according to how the services are, so fix it one after the other. I understand that. Now I'm asking, in order to solve the problem is we don't have a website. The existing website is not functional due to the issues on it. Now, fixing is one in order to have a website. What other solution can you provide for us so we can have a functional website? We've talked about fixing already. Whatever format of fixing that you can provide, I understand that already. So now, what other professional advice would you give us? Who is having a problem of not having a functional website?
Yeah, I understand your question. Actually, a good question. So the thing is that what we can do is this. If you, what we can do, just for because this project was actually on my table before it was sent out. We discussed this project at length. What I can do is this. I can pick a particular module, just to give you an example of what I'm trying to say. I can pick a particular module. We've given you the faults, the findings. This is not working, is not in line with the Figma file. But what a second document I can send to you is some from the for easy navigation and I don't know if whether I'm confusing you. You know, the thing is that when one of the things that we look out for in product design is to, aside from just developing the project, the navigation is poor. Navigation is really bad. Navigation, you can actually get the way it is. For example, maybe I'm going back and forth. The thing is that sometimes you
Yeah,
click.
actually, we are still on the same spot
I
on
think,
the
might I say
issue of
something?
fixing.
Okay,
Okay,
Jennifer.
so let me
Okay,
say what my own findings have been and what some of the recommendations I have heard. Maybe it will help. Okay, from my findings, I learned that repairing a website or another developer's website that has multiple languages can be very dicey.
yeah.
So the risk of having more bugs in the course of using is very high, even when it is repaired. So that is my finding. So another finding is this. It was like, oh, you know what? Why not create, it's a big domain. Why not create a subdomain, use the same design, and then put on that subdomain, use an easier language or a more direct language that is more user friendly. With that, the existing one can still be there. You can play around with that. It can be a guide for the subdomain. So you are not completely wiping out the entire domain. You are
Okay.
just making it an easier playground for people to use.
Okay.
It's like creating, okay, this is gate A. Gate A is too complex because there are
Yeah.
a lot of turns and puddles. Let's create gate B where people can easily pass, come in and go out without much stress.
Okay. Okay. So let me just.
That's using a layman's language.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I understand. So the thing is that a subdomain, subdomain is it's just another name for your, like a secondary name for your website name. So just like I'll give you an example. So zenithbank.com is a domain name. Career.zenithbank.com is a subdomain. So now, whether it's a subdomain or the main domain, it has no impact on the actual code structure. So what the developer has done now is to build with maybe Laravel, for example. Laravel is a code framework. So maybe that's what they use. So if you say we should use a subdomain and use a different language, what you are indirectly saying is that we should build your project all afresh from the beginning. I
Sorry,
hope.
can I just come in? I think we're using too much technical terms that we're kind of missing each other. Because from what I'm understanding here is that from Morical's end, what it looks like to them is like they have this website and it's not functional, and now they are confused. Do we go back to our former developers to fix the bug, or do they give it to us? Which one is safer for them? So what we are proposing to you is, on your own end, which of these services are or has more priority for you? We can break it into that idea, which has more priority. If it's the online pharmacy that has more priority, we can start with the online pharmacy, and then
Mhm.
maybe others we can tag as coming soon. And then how Mr. Emmanuel is proposing to tackle it, knowing fully well that another developer has worked on it previously, is we would have to do a code review, probably maybe with the developer that did it before or standalone. I'm not sure. But we'll need to do that. And then we'll need to write fresh requirements based on what is not functional as it is today in that one service that we are focusing on. And then we can now move forward from there.
Um,
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, man. Good evening, madam.
Good evening. I think you guys are just going back and forth, back and forth. Information. I mean, this is not the point. This is not the reason we are here. You need to give us. It's just a straightforward. It shouldn't take you more than 5, 10 minutes to do that. She asks simple questions, right? Tell us what you've already said, what you found. Tell us the options available for the solution. Now, okay, first off, option, it will require this. Maybe we'll take it one service at a time to finish one and do this. Another option is to take it. Did. Another option is that that's all we need,
No, ma.
rather than, I
Okay,
mean, that
sorry.
is, hold on, don't interrupt me. I've listened to you for quite a while. I listened, I've been on the meeting. So it's just the options. This is the option. This is what we can do here. We can repair the website. It might take us a long time, but we can repair it. It's workable. Or we cannot repair the website because of A, B, C, D. This is the reasons. Or we can do it, it will take more time. We'll let you know this is a time factor. Or if we're going to fix it, if we're going to do use the Figma design to do another website, this is it, this is how we are going. Just simple. Those are the things. I really have 5 minutes. Yeah, I have 5 minutes because I have to go to work. Thank you.
Okay, ma. Thank you very much. Yeah, like I mentioned before, most of these options I already gave all the options. I just explained most of these options in more details just to. I
No,
already
no,
gave the.
you didn't give the options. I've been here. I didn't hear you. Were going round and round and round. The only
Okay.
person I heard option from is from the lady that just spoke. You've been going round and round. They asked you one question. I couldn't pick out anything from what you said. The only thing I picked out was that you want to do one service at a time, finish that one, jump to that is what I just said. That is all I can pick from what you said.
Okay, so the first option I gave was that if we can actually work on the code, what this person has done already. So if we work on it, what the findings, the things that we discovered today that we have documented, what I'm saying is that once we fix all of those things and push it back to you, that will be like the end of this our work. So there's not going to be, okay, we discovered this from your end, you should fix it. It's not going to be possible. That was the option one. Option two is to build it module by module. You build one module, then you build the other. That means you're building it afresh. That's the option two. So those are the two, in summary, those are the two options.
I think
Thank you
Mr.
very much.
Agu is there now. Let him, he's the business developer, so he should be
Yeah,
able
that's
to
what
answer.
I'm trying to confirm. Who is the second person who joined with Moricol Healthcare? Hello, Mr. Prince, are you here with us?
I'm on two gadgets, so maybe you are seeing me.
Oh, okay. So Prince is not here. He's not here. He must have private network issues. He's not
Yeah,
here.
good evening.
Okay, so Mr. Thomas, yes, thank you. Please go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to ask this question again. I know you have asked them, Madam has asked too. Sir, what would you advise? Should we design a new website or repair the other websites? That's my question.
Yes, it's a very good question. If you want my sincere advice, you need to redesign the entire project.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. I disagree with you. You cannot redesign because that Figma design took us time to do. I think if there are some errors in the Figma design, can be corrected, but not to redesign everything. I think you can. I think the only thing I will agree with is that they can build a new website based on the Figma design, but not to redesign the Figma or the no. That I don't agree with you because most of the stuff in that Figma design took us months to build to come up with that Figma design. There are so few things they didn't put, which we told them to put. I think they didn't do it. So maybe that's the only thing. But building the Figma design again, I do not agree because it will still come back to the same thing. You will still come back to us and ask us, what do you want here? What do you want there? And we will still give you the same thing that is in that Figma design because that is specifically for us. So I would say there are two options. It's either the website that was already being built is repaired or you build a new website. Those are the two options. And I don't see Aka here. Aka was giving telling us about an easier way that you can actually everything can go on the admin panel, which is easier and all that. Maybe Aka can I don't know, he's not here. I invited him to join. So let's know from that point if you are building a new website, if that is the option, let's know.
All right, Ma, thank you. So I didn't want to interrupt when you were talking because of the last time. So I'm not saying that you're redesigning your Figma files. So by redesigning the website, I was talking about building the old website afresh, but it's going to be, in contrast with what you have in the Figma file. So it's going to be the same thing. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying we should redesign the Figma files. If you want us, for example, and it's not something that I have to, state what is convenient for me and what is doable. We don't have to build the project. Somebody else can actually do it. So the Figma file and the process to develop this project is what I'll tell you, and I'll be sincere with you. And we'll give you the timeline if you want us to do it. But you're not building the Figma files afresh, but for the actual website, there will be need for us to build it afresh because of most of these reasons that I've stated earlier.
Yeah, okay. Amanda, you can go ahead. That was what I wanted to know. Then go from there. So how do we go? How do we forge ahead?
Okay, Marisa, I should go ahead. Okay, okay, you're talking to me. So to forge ahead, an easy way to move with this is to take it module by module. So by module, I mean we should take recruitment, for example, and trash everything that has to do with recruitment, as against the Figma file. So we produce exactly the same thing. But what I'm trying to say is this, what I was trying to explain earlier. We're going to get to that point where we have certain redundancy and inconsistency of some components. What I mean is, um, just like Jennifer rightly mentioned, somebody selected date of birth, and you say the person should select a age group. So if you want us to just go on that route, we'll just do exactly what is on the Figma file. We'll just reproduce it and give to you. Or there will be need for us to have some kind of sessions to say, I think this should not be here. I think this is not user friendly enough, and all of this stuff. I think this should be moved to the background. Those are the stuff I've been trying to explain all this while. So that's my answer. So we take it module, just to answer as a direct response, we take it module by module. We take one module at a time. We have a series of meetings. We trash that module and we move to the next one. That's the most convenient way for us. So if you agree on that, we can give you timelines based on each of the modules and what it would cost.
Okay, so it's well understood. So on it's now a two-armed or two-edged solution. One solution is fixing module by module, and the second solution is creating a new project, and then we do it module by module. Am I in tune with you?
Yes, you're in tune.
Okay, so we'll be expecting, what's it called? Two proposals. That's what it means. Two proposals, one for fixing and then the other one for creating a new one. So we can use that, deliberate, and then get back to you on the final decision.
All right, that works.
I appreciate your time. Thank you. Mr. Thomas, do you have any other thing to say or contribute?
Well, nothing. That's fine. I'm okay with the conclusion. So let's wait for their proposal.
Okay, then I appreciate your time.
I just want,
Thank you so
Mr.
much.
Thomas, can you explain what Aka was saying about the panel thing, where he talked about the admin and all? If you understand what he said, can you explain it to us?
I'm sorry. I missed the meeting then, ma. That was why I could not
Oh,
even.
you missed the meeting.
Yes, ma. I missed it. By the time I came, it was just like maybe you guys are 2 minutes away. I'm sorry, I missed that.
Just to
Hello.
confirm, we're done with the meeting. If we're okay to exit now.
Somewhere are you there?
Yeah, did you call my name? So allow me.
No, I was actually calling me somewhere that I wanted to know if you should sit there. I'm cool with the conclusion. I just wanted them to be clear and then
Jennifer,
maybe then you can exit.
we're done with the meeting.
Yeah, all right.
All right, thank you for joining. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hello?